Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Entirely Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Sovereign of the Day of Recompense, it is you, Allah, whom we serve, and it is you, Allah, whom we ask for help. Guide us, Allah, to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favour, not of those whom thy wrath has brought down, nor those who go astray. Alright. Well, welcome. We know what this is, hopefully, because there's been quite a few videos before this, but kind of picking up, or rather picking it back up from having took a break. Really needed to get my thoughts together about a lot of things, me being the main one, because there's no greater enemy than ourselves. And sometimes you have to learn of how formidable you are as an enemy for yourself. And sometimes in our learning of how formidable of an enemy we are to ourselves, the shock of that can produce a cognitive dissonance, meaning it causes us to shut down, causes us to shut off, causes us to shout out, or it causes us to be in a state of need. Because, have you ever looked into the mirror, just like say you out and about, and you want to see what's going on? Let's say you got dressed in the morning, you dressed nice. In the middle of the day, you walking past like a mirror or something, you might just want to, have a look, see what go on, right? But have you ever been the mirror to your own demise? I don't think maybe you didn't quite catch that. But your worst enemy is you. And so I've been really homing in on that, and how can I, how will I, or how potentially will I be an enemy? To myself, to my people, to my cause, to my mission, to my gifts, to my family, to my own self, And, when you realize that there's a gap to close, you realize what that means is you realize there's a wound that needs to heal. It's the same wording, but with a different picture. A wound being cut open. If you could imagine in your mind a wound sliced right open, and it's just, what have you seen the effects of that? Even just on people that have not got the injury, people can look at that and faint. People can look at that and feel some type of way. So, think over these things. Sometimes it's really a mature thing to do, to be patient. And I was telling Allah this on the way home today. I was saying, patience is a trial as much as it is a necessity and a way by which we can earn Allah's favor. But I was saying, there's a real trial with upholding to be patient. Sabr, that's what it means. Patience means sabr. Sabr. To uphold that might mean to contend with patience, with something around you and your patience that might be disturbing you, or might be, distracting you, discouraging you. It's a bit more personal. Some people want to distract you, and some people want to discourage you. They both sound like they got the same root to me. Envy. So, this is why I love, I've learned, I tell you what I love. I'll tell you what I love about me. I love about humans. I love it when we want for our brother what we got for ourselves. And you know what's crazy is somebody with the right heart will be hurt because you don't want to help you yourself. Like the minister don't feel you know what it is? It's like the minister doesn't want to be above anybody, although that's where we seem to put him. But he accepts that because he knows our condition. But truly, truly, the minister, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The minister's looking for himself. The minister's looking, and I don't mean like, is it as in like, verbatim. I just mean he's looking for those of us whom Allah has permitted to take on, like wings in a way, like really take on this mission, really take on this work. The Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a man who is aided from where you perceive not. The Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan is divinely inspired. He's divinely missioned. He was divinely sent. Because, and when we say this, humans in this condition, we have these sort of like, we put a lot of distance between ourselves and certain words because we can't even fathom that we exist in that word, but we can't see ourselves operating that word yet. And so we can't even fathom the thought of somebody living that, never mind speaking it. And so the minister is not just a blueprint for the spiritual, which is what we're tackling in this broadcast. He is a template for the physical, orientation of our will, our works, our you see how I'm saying our? You see how I'm saying our? I'm not saying his. See what I'm saying? If you got a lesson from God, you got it for me. You see what I mean? If I got a lesson from God, I got it for you. Or rather, God gave it for me to give to you. Or rather, God gave it you to give to me. And the devil's done a real trick on us, when it comes to God. Because we still, listen to this, we believe that God is a man, but we still, we still jump when we see him in man. We still jump when we see him in men that we don't think nothing of. We still, no, that's not the word, flinch. That's the word. We have this like, it's almost like a spiritual reaction. But it's, no, a spiritual allergic reaction. Spiritually allergic reaction. Ooh, we got to study what I'm saying here, Oh, even I'm thinking, yeah, I'm off the rewind this thing. Yeah, yes, sir. So, point being, brothers and sisters, we're lagging behind. Why is everybody making progress and we seem to be lagging so far behind? It's a good question, that, isn't it? You see how you can use music to ask questions? See how you can use music to convey messages? See how valuable music could be? But then watch. Anything. Oh, in fact, I'm going to get it the way I wrote it. Praise be to Allah. Because I wrote this the other day, right? Sorry, that's the adverts. Let me see. Okay, let me find it. Pardon me. I swear down, the amount of writing I did yesterday is illegal. I swear to God. Alright, where is it? Come on now. maybe I won't be able to find it. I'm pretty gutted about that. You know, I'll find it. I will find it. You know, I'm gonna find it, yo. I'm gonna get this. Are you ready? I'm gonna find it. I've remembered a word in it, so I'm just gonna go and search. Type in that word. Are you ready for it? Because I'm gonna find it. Hey, we found it. We found it because we found it. Praise be to the Most High, Allah. All right. Having a gift as high as heaven usually means to soon face a test from the depths of hell. Oh. And who said it had to be your hell? It gets deeper this, doesn't it? Oh God. So who said it had to be your hell? See, Allah can use somebody else's hell to disturb your heaven or your hell. And so like a bird in flight, we got to know when to anticipate blowing winds and use our spiritual form to boost over the winds, lest the winds knock you out of flight and take you to the ground. So my point there, what I was trying to say was like, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. I know it sounds really cliche, but it's really true, and it's really, really heavy what that is saying. Because you're going to need time, patience, to see how responsible Allah has made you to do such and such. Meaning you have to learn of your mission. You have to learn of Him. That's why Jesus said, learn of me. See? We're not learning enough of Him. We're learning about Him. See how about is around the outsides, but of is in? Of means contained within the person. It is part of. It's not something we had to put in. It's something that we're there already. You know? The minister's, you know, he's a little bit of an exception, but he's also that, well, then that makes him equally as more of a beautiful study because he's uniquely selected. He's not like willy-nilly selected. He's like specifically made to do and to say and to be. And so, but look, what did I tell you? I heard Brother Daniel on the weekend ask the question, has the minister had it easy? Everyone was like, no. Has the minister been vilified? Yes. Has the minister been, evil spoken of and hated by the government? No, yes. They were all saying it. But look at this. So look at that gift he has, the minister. But then check this out. Look at the hell that came with it. See, they want his crown, but they don't want to pay the price. See? Elijah Muhammad was saying, they want to sit where I sit, but they don't want to earn what they're going to have to need to earn to be able to sit in the seat. So it's like, imagine you wanting to be not feeling hungry, but you not eating any food. How can you expect yourself to be anything other than hungry if you don't eat when you need food or when food is there? And speaking of food, we'll go to chapter 5 in the Holy Quran briefly, and we'll just read a few pages, or maybe just a page or two. I guess we'll read up until when I have a thought, innit? That's what usually happens. But here we go, come on, let's have a go. I'm going to read as well. I wanted to read chapter 68. Not the whole thing, but enough of it. Or just like, I don't know, I just wanted to read it, innit? I don't know. I want to shoot the messenger. Alright, brothers and sisters. Because we don't plan on rolling over anytime soon, because somebody don't like it. That's what it is, We're going to have to get through the emotions of this stuff. Because it really don't matter. As long as God loves what we're doing, you just love what you're doing, brother. If God be for you, who can be against you? Anyway. Alright, so chapter 5. And I just lost the page. Alright, there we go. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Those two attributes, think over them. O you who believe, fulfill the obligations. The cattle quadrupeds are allowed to you except that which is recited to you, not violating the prohibition against game when you are on the pilgrimage. Surely Allah orders what He pleases. O you who believe, violate not the signs of Allah, nor the sacred month, nor the offerings, nor the victims with garlands. This is a really interesting verse, start of a chapter, this, isn't it? Or is it just me? There's a couple of things I've read already, I don't even know what it is. So, for instance, quadrupeds, but I have a feeling it's something to do with, like, a 4, because quad is 4. Quadrupeds. I don't know. And then there was another word. Where is it? Well, there's prohibition, but I think that just means prohibited or to prohibit. So I know that one, but there's another. Garlands. What's that? Well, let's just see what 2 says. Because you know what, right? This is it, right? If you could just take something from just that little moment listening to me, then take this. I want to know what it means. I'm not just reading it. I want to know why it's saying that. I want to learn what garlands means. I want to give it even a go of what I thought quadrupeds means. And something came. Because... because God. Because God. Okay? Oh, praise be to Allah. So, let us continue. O you who believe, violate not the signs of Allah, nor the sacred month, nor the offerings, nor the victims with garlands, nor those repairing to the sacred house, seeking the grace and pleasure of their Lord. And when you are free from pilgrimage obligations, then hunt, and let not hatred of a people, because they hindered you from the sacred mosque, incite you to transgress. Oh. And help one another in righteousness and piety, and help not one another in sin and aggression, and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is severe in requiting evil. Forbidden to you is that which dies of itself, and blood and flesh of swine. You know, it's really interesting to think about this, because I wonder how that looks in the spiritual. Forbidden to you is that which dies of itself. Now, obviously, because we can make mischief in these thoughts, so I'm going to just hold myself accountable to this right now, that I am studying with an open mind, as not an intellectual coward. And so therefore I have this, what's the word? I have this lack of fear when it comes to trying to understand it. See, you don't fear something you understand because you understand it. The fear is now not necessary. But when you don't understand, there's this little space within you that you know needs to be filled. There's this space of misunderstanding or not understanding that needs to be filled with understanding. And like a glass and water, if the glass was like alive, should we say, and it had no water in it, and you asked it, have you got any water in? The glass would know. No, I don't have any water here. I'm trying to make it, it's a bit of a metaphor, a bit of too much of a, we're going Disney on it here, talking plates and talking animals and stuff, but you know what I'm trying to say, hopefully, inshallah. But maybe it's what I'm trying to touch on there, forbidden to you is that which dies of itself. I'm trying to take our attention and put it towards being attentive to the dangers of how man becomes his worst enemy. So, listen, if somebody is in a spiritual position in terms of disease-wise, depending on what the disease is, will also depend on how calculated you need to be about that disease. See how I went mathematical on it? Because only a straight answer can cover a decimal. You know, only an integer, only a whole number can deal with a decimal or a fraction. Only a whole number can do that. And so there are people on this planet, there are people in this world, there are people walking among us that don't necessarily have the right heart towards us, but they do got the right mouth about us. See? It's kind of like, well, I know what I'm saying. If it don't resonate with you, I can see what it means for me, and if this means something, you know, of the sort for you, I'm glad to be able to give that to you. But if you don't see how I see it, you know, nothing's holding you back from asking me a question ever. What do you mean by that, bro? Or like, what did you say when? What do you mean? What are you doing this? You know, the amount of times I think to myself, you know, I think to myself, right? If I was, I'd probably annoy you if I was around you. I'd probably ask you too many questions in too short of a space. I don't know. I don't even know. Because I want to know. You see what I mean? You know what I thought of today? I thought of this. I said Allah went on holiday. Well, I didn't say it like this, but I said it in my mind in a way. I was like, Allah went on holiday for 66 trillion years, and he came back. He just wanted to see who remembered him. But I know it seems so kind of stupid in a way. It is a bit of a stupid thought in a way, because it's got context to it that we really could do with delving into and understanding. Like, because nobody just leaves for nothing. You know, that involves the deportation of the moon, So, which means the moon and the Earth was once one. So if you can imagine how much time has passed since the Earth and the moon was once one, and the breaking up of that, you know, that's a long time, brother. Like, 3 trillion years is a long time. Like, go and check how long 3 trillion years is. Go and check how long 500 billion years is. Just 500 billion. And you'll, oh my God. I mean, just think about all the wisdom stored in the account of time, absent from God, of 66 trillion years in the universe. And you don't got no work to do. Hey, you will do after today. You will do after we're finished. What do you think we're going to do when we get to the master? What, just chill out? Why you think he's getting us into this mind? You see? You think, I mean, yeah, to a degree, there's a chill out in Allah's kingdom. You know, it is peace. It is peace. That's another word for peace, isn't it? Peace, chill out. I kind of, yeah. But Allah's probably going to meet you. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, brothers and sisters? You ain't ready for this. I said, I'm going to say this. Allah's going to make you work double hard in the hereafter than what you're working now. So if you ain't working hard, just imagine what this is times 2. And in fact, no, are you ready for this? The harder you work now, the less he'll make you work in the hereafter. Well, I can't say these things in a way. But if you think about what I'm saying with a spiritual eye, you'll see I'm helping you, brothers and sisters. Oh yes, I'm going to help you get it together, and I ain't going to feel bad about it either. Because how can you feel bad for helping God's people? Yeah, emotions, I'm not free from them. I'm just like you, brother. I have days when I'm like, yeah, I want to wrap myself into a ball and throw myself in the ocean. I don't know. I have them days too. I'm alive as well. I'm not, you know, incapable of like really suffering and really struggling. Like, you know, these weeks being away has been really tough for me. These weeks not doing the broadcast, not not really praying as deep as and as properly as I should be, not not loving myself correctly. That's really the root of it. Because something you should know about me as your brother is I don't care what pain I'm in. I could never look at God and say like, like the minister said, you set me up like that, like, I couldn't do that, yo. But I tell you what I would do, and I tell you what I have been guilty of doing. I've been guilty of getting frustrated because I'm yet to understand what's going on. And that's probably where I really, really, really kick myself as harder than I really need to, because once you feel some kind of way about, how God might have taken what you've said, I don't know, the fear of God is just in us, yo. And we will fear when we are not correct, or when we're not accurate, or when we've yet to experience our mirror to ourselves that we are on path, that we are doing all right. I was also saying this to Allah on the way home today. I was saying something along the lines of like, this is not where I thought I would be after 10 years of following the minister and dedicating myself to this work. This is not necessarily where I imagine myself to be. But to be honest, right, that old imagination of where I would be, it always faded behind the reality of how important the mission was. Because you might say, well, I'm not here. I'm not there, and I should be here, or I'm not there and I should be there. But it's like, and maybe you're not there because Allah don't want you there. Like, have you ever thought that, we don't think on this enough. We don't think about enough of where Allah wants us to be. Like us, our unique selves, our attention. That's what it is. And sometimes Allah wants your attention on your faults. He wants your attention on your mistakes. He wants your attention on your failures or your your sins. Not that he wants you to focus on it forever, but there's times, brother, you'll have to look in that mirror and you'll have to be as honest as you really can be. You ain't got time to do anything else in that. Can't go telling Allah a half-truth. Can't go tell yourself a half-truth. You got to get it all cleaned up. Whatever about yourself that is doing your head in about yourself and you ain't doing anything about it, you're in your own way, brother. And here's where it comes to, right? We're going to all start getting so material soon if we keep our act up like this that we're going to lose our spiritual bank, our spiritual access. That's the worst thing that could ever happen to you as a servant, brother, sister. That you lose access, especially spiritual access. Yeah, you may be able to go on to a lecture. Yeah, you may be able to turn up, for study guide. Yeah, you may be able to, all the prayers. Yeah. Yeah, we passed that now. We passed that now. I didn't say we're beyond it. I said we're past it. Beyond it means, come on, we don't need that no more. We God now. We far from that, so we do need it. We do need the remembrance of Allah more. That's what prayer is trying to show us. How many times do we remember Allah in a day? Allah wanted it to be at least 5. But Allah don't want 5. You know how many Allah wanted to give us at first? He wanted to give us, I think it was 100 prayers a day. He wanted to give us 50 prayers a day after that, because then I believe it was Moses. Muhammad it was, who, was going back to Allah and saying, maybe we should, it was Moses, I believe. Like, Moses was saying, come on, 50's a bit too much, 100's a bit too many prayers. Maybe you could ask Allah, he was saying to Muhammad, maybe you could ask Allah to, bring it down a bit. But if you really think about that, You know, Allah, you ready for this? Allah's so wise, he could have knew already that he was gonna give him 5 prayers. Hey, he already knew he was probably gonna ask to lower it down. But he purposely started at 100 or 50, I can't remember which one it was. He started on a high number for a reason. Because look at this, you ready for this? Allah wanted you to see where his mind was. Why is it our mind can't think on Allah maximum 5 times a day? Minimum, rather, 5 times a day. Yet Allah, in his subtle hint, or not hint, subtle, in Allah's request to have Muhammad delivered to them that we will be praying 50 or 100 prayers, there's a lesson in the way Allah wants us to look at his own mind. I said his own mind. Yes, I did say that. His own mind. Yes, he as in his, mind as in brain. Yes. All true. The devil's taught us that the devil is anything but man. And look how well the devil has ruled man without that truth in him. You can listen, as long as that bird don't even know he can fly, oh yeah, he's staying in that cage, believe me, brother. So, we got to understand our wings today. We've got to understand his wings. There's healing in his wings, it says in the scripture. There'll be healing in his wings. Ooh, brothers and sisters. So we got up to verse 3 in this chapter, the food. It's a little bit. I get the sense. In fact, I just know this. That this chapter's full, and it's not an accident because it's called the food. So it's supposed to leave you full, and I do believe, and as I'm looking here, there is quite a lot on the footnotes for us to learn. Inshallah. It's full to the brim, that. But yes, we'll I don't know why I felt like, you know what it is? This is what I'm trying to say, and I pulled up my first episode sheet, and I saw that, I really want us to understand how much we need universal teaching right now, and really how much the people who we seek to save need it, and therefore that brings to our minds the value, the importance, hopefully, of somebody who has power, who has a gift, who has a way, who has the faith, who has the courage to bring us up from a place of, really what that is spiritual darkness. Because you could have eyes but still can't see. See? You can have ears but still be deaf. You can be talking. You can be dumb but still talking. See? So it's almost like, right? Oh wow, praise be to Allah, I heard that. Alright. 2/3 of it, is our faith when we have a wife. Elijah Muhammad said, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, they both said that, your marriage is 2/3 of your faith. So now you ready for this? Spiritual teaching is 2/3 of your spiritual reality. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? Can you hear what I'm saying? 2/3 of your Islam is spiritual, and the other third is material. Well, this is just how I'm looking at it, okay? Remember, not solid in stone here, brothers and sisters. I'm coming with the spirit. I'm not coming with no notes. I've got a page that I just grabbed. I'm coming with me. This is who I've been trying to build, brother. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not here for a very long time. As time stands. Do you know what I mean? You're really not. You're not even that So whilst you're here, brother, sister, wouldn't it be so accurate of you? Wouldn't it be so right of you? Wouldn't it be so wise of you? Wouldn't it be so sacrificing of you to give up your time so that other people, when it's their time, have a good time? I think that's worth it to me. I don't know about you. I know what we are, and so therefore I know what the absence of one of us at the expense of all of us is. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Only God can make a man. Okay. But, yeah, that's what I was trying to say before. Was like, at the beginning of this whole, like, broadcast, I was going to call it a couple of things. So, obviously, you see the name now. It's the Universal. That's what we called it. That's what we went with. But I want us to go back and just have a look at some of the names that I had, or like titles for this work, for this broadcast, that I had. So the first one was The Light of a Student. The Light of a Student. Think about that. We think it's just a teacher that... Oh, brothers, I shouldn't laugh so much about this stuff, man, because it's so serious, but we're so... No, it's not really laughing. It's more like, you know what it is? It's like patience is laughing. Because it got to keep being itself, you know what I mean? Alright, well, the point being of it was, you know, the student has a light. Do you know? The student in God? I don't mean student in philanthropy or sociology or psychology. I don't mean any of that. When you're a student of God, you're a student to all of that. In fact, when you're a student of God, everything is inside of what you're studying. So, you have to explore the circle. Explore the circle, yo. You know, be like the cell. You know, we begin with one thought, you know. It might just be, yeah, I like that thought you had. But then billions come, like cells. We start off with one cell, innit, beloved? But then it goes, I think I might duplicate myself. I think I might duplicate myself again. Yeah, why not? Why don't we all just do it? See that? Unity. That's unity. Unity is, I don't need to remind you what to do. You are already doing it. See what I'm saying? That's like a level of unity that is dangerous, bruh. If I don't need to see you, I don't need to speak to you, if I don't need to even communicate to you or even think about you, but no, and because of those things, is because you're doing the work on your own without my help, without, you know, even asking you to. That's like, bro, you know, like, you know, sometimes we think we need God's permission to do something good. We don't. We got that permission from within. That's why we still have so much faith. Because and sometimes it's why we get so disappointed as well. Because again, things don't always happen when you want them to. You know, if somebody told me you're going to be where, you know, describing where I am now, just like physically, spiritually, if somebody said that that's where I'd be in 10 years, I'm not sure I would have kept going, you know. And also, if they made clear what I'd go through, yeah, I don't think I would have moved as I have, if that makes sense. Sometimes the best arrows that you know, the best arrows that you could have missed, or that could have missed you, are the ones that missed you that you didn't even realize were aiming for you. Oh, praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. You know, I asked him before this. You know, I asked him before this. I said, Allah. I said, Allah. I said, give me something to say, yo. I want to say something today. I just want to be with you today. I just want to be in your remembrance, and I want you to be in mine. I love that verse in the Quran when it says, remember me and I'll remember you. I love that. That's enough, right? That's enough to keep somebody going. In all fairness, brothers and sisters. So, let there be lights. Let there be life. You know, and God said, let there be life. Let there be lights. And that was the other title that I was going to call this lecture, this broadcast series. Let there be lights. You know, and I was reading that just then. And I was thinking, why would you have to say, let me? Why would you have to say, let? You know, you ever done that? Let me do it. Someone's doing something. Someone might be getting a jar of pickles open. I don't know. We'll go for the standard thing. You know, you say, like, you need a hand with that. You know? They're trying to get it off on their own. You want to help out. You got the lesson, brother. You got the lesson, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Let there be lights. Some people say, oh no, there should only be one. There should only be one light. You got the sun in the day, but you got the moon in the night, brother. Different light, but the same light. Sorry, different bulb, but the same light. There you go. We got there. So, point being is, somebody's saying, let me, you know, let me get that jar of pickles open. And then what does the person who's got it already say usually? What did he say, brother? Come on, we all know. What are you going to say? No, I'm nearly there now. I'm going to do it. Until he smashed the jar out of frustration. And all the pickles and all the juice goes all over the floor. And they even cut themselves whilst doing it. So now they're bleeding out. So, see what I'm saying? We need to be spiritually in tune so that we don't look like what we came from. We don't sound like what we came from. And we don't think like where we came from. See? You know, and even, you know what's crazy? Even as we're acting out some of the teachings in our beautiful ways that we do, even that's going to be different. Someone's going to say, nobody ever expressed it like that, though. Someone's going to say, nobody's ever been happy saying it, what you just said, the way you said it. Like, a lot of people today can't teach the judgment, won't teach the judgment, which is understandable. So I really, really understand that. But there's an element to it is because there's no joy in it. How can there be joy in judgment? How can you find a comfortable space in mind in the judgment? When it comes to the judgment. So what we're seeing as I ask questions like this is that we're still in our emotion too much. See? So we have to, as the minister says, as the messenger says to the minister, I want you to line your mind up with my mind so that my mind and your mind becomes one mind. See? And this is why I have been very patient all these years. Because I might have grown to a place I didn't think you would accept me in as growing into. But I'm starting to realize that I need to get out of my emotion of what you think about where I am. That's what it is, yo. And also what I think about where I am. See, I'm facing two enemies there, and they're both formidable. Mine's the worst. See, you're gonna have to hold your... You have to struggle to hold yourself down. Not, you're gonna have to hold yourself down, brother. He could have said it like that, brother, couldn't he? But he chose to. You're going to, ready? Have to struggle. You're gonna have to struggle, or else you ain't... Look, if you don't push hard, when you're trying to get out of the atmosphere of this earth, and you don't push hard enough, it's gonna burn you up and you're gonna fall right back down into the earth. You gotta get them rocket boosters, bro, sister. You gotta get them, that pride, and go and flush it down the toilet. And you gotta say, listen, I'ma get up and I'ma get into this mind. I'ma study, I'ma pray on it. I'm gonna seek it, because I can only find it if I seek it. See? I can only get the answer if I ask the question. I can only get to see what's through the door if I walk through it. Not into it. Not break it down. Not pick the lock. Not burn it. Not anything else other than walking through it. We're not going to get to the... I told this to a friend yesterday. I said... Because I approach in a teaching manner sometimes. People who know me know what I'm about, innit? So I say, brother, I said, do you remember when Allah say how we're going to get to him in the kingdom? Who do we have to go through, brother? What do we have to go through? How do we get to the master? Jesus. So Jesus is like a door. Okay? What are doors for? See, doors are for opening and closing. And the scripture says, that which he opens, none can shut. And that which he shuts, none can open. The he is he. So, we have to be careful how we deal with what he is bringing us. Not careful. I mean, I don't have to be careful with it. I love what I'm listening to. I love what I'm looking at. I love what I'm seeing grow. No, I can't say that. I do have to be careful. Of course I do. But, you know, me, I'm so bold with it. I just, in my mind, in my heart, I think to myself, like, you ain't taking Farrakhan off me. And you ain't going to make me stop believing that I can help him. Because I am helping him. And I tell you how I'm helping him. I help him by helping you. And I help him by helping myself. Self-improvement is the basis for community development. Self-development, self-improvement, self-actualization, self-understanding, self-reassurance, self-esteem. See? Not self-sabotage. Not self-denial. Not... Well, you have to do... Well, you do have to deny yourself, but I mean denying the parts of you that really Allah ain't got a problem with. It's just the people, and you think Allah's got a problem with you just because the people do. It's alright, we learn the way we learn, innit? And you're learning now. So praise be to Allah. Because I believe. And I'm only... You know, I was saying this as well. I was thinking to myself, I was like, Allah... I was like, you telling me? Because I'm going to put this into small context. Ask me about it another time. But I said, Allah, you telling me you went on holiday for 66 trillion years and you decided to show up when I'm alive? When I'm mature enough to understand you? I was like, I should never feel like hurt again. I should just remember that each time. Because you're telling me that, you know, well, white people weren't here beyond 6,000 years, but, you know, hypothetically, if you could just say it like this, I could have existed in any other time, really. But Allah chose to bring me into this one, where He is. Oh, brother, and you lot are. And Elijah Muhammad showing up, Master Farrakhan showing up, Mr. Farrakhan showing up, Satan's getting broken down. What? And he needs my help? Oh my God. That's enough to give a man a heart attack, bro. Especially in the condition I was in. In fact, it did give me a heart attack. It did. This work should. You have to struggle to hold yourself down. See? Are you seeing it? Your heart has to unlock. But your heart isn't going to unlock if it ain't comfortable. Your heart in the air is not comfortable. It needs to be tucked in on the ground where it is. Grounded. See? A grounded heart. See how they say grounded? I want to stay grounded. The foundation. The founder. Always keep the founder in your mind. In your heart. In your works, in your offerings, in your giving, in your thoughts, in your ideas, in your creativity, in your ways of explaining. Keep the master very, very, very close. Keep the how secure is the foundation? What's the foundation? He's not saying how secure is Master Farrakhan Muhammad. Because I am 1,000,000% sure that he is secure. In fact, he is so secure, he can make us insecure or secure. I think that's pretty secure if you ask me. So anyway, I'm kind of diverging off point here, because I kind of just wanted to go into the beginning of like why we started this anyway, and why it should be such a problem to finish it. You know what I mean? Because you know what's crazy, right? A lot of you wouldn't even tell me, you know what, I don't need you to. Hey, listen, I love you. Right, anyway, carry on. That was for me and Allah, that one. Praise be to Allah. So, the universal. We have to make this teaching like air, brother. Y'all hearing it? We need to make this teaching like air. Who doesn't like, love, or need air? Somebody who ain't living. Alright? See? You see what I'm saying? We need to understand the importance of the spiritual reality. Do you know what we also need to understand the importance of? Allah's grace. Because I tell you, grace is the most sweetest thing. But it becomes the most bitter thing when there is no more. I tell you, grace can turn into a nightmare. I swear to God, I promise you, brother, we do not want to get caught in this spiritually. Y'all hearing me? I hope you're hearing me. And you know what? Again, like I told you before, Allah has probably allowed you, permitted you to taste a little bit of it. You see what I mean? Like, see, Allah got me talking today. Allah got me, not even, listen, we'll take talking today off of that sentence. Allah got me. And you know what? I only realised that on the other side of emotion. See how blinding emotion can be? You have to make it to the other side. You can do it though. You're not capable of overcoming a stupid thought from the Satan of self or the Satan in someone else. You know, some assumption really is sin, beloved. Oh my Lord. You know, I pray that somebody who really values, you know, if indeed you see that there is any, I do pray that somebody who does see, hear, or like has felt the value in this, I hope that you share it. And Allah is my witness that I'm asking such person who would listen to share it with somebody. To share it with somebody who's interested in knowing a little bit more about what we're about. You know, of what kind of mind we're learning to grow into. You know, sometimes I may talk a little bit like out of myself, like I, but you know what I really mean? When I say I actually mean the nation. Like, I know it's crazy, like, or when, you know, because I think about the thoughts I have, and I think these thoughts would help the nation. So I don't, even though those thoughts are not accepted, or those thoughts might not be understood as of yet, I don't see them as being not part of the nation. I just see it as I'm doing a work that is in its own time to do its own work amongst and amidst and about and of and in the people. That's just my belief, brother. I just believe that I can help the minister. How can you believe anything else if you've truly heard the man? See what I mean? But look, I say where I've struggled. I've held myself down, thinking I'm holding, you know, it's funny what somebody's assumption can do to you, okay? And it's interesting what somebody's doubt of truth and of you can do to you. And are you ready for this? And it's powerful what somebody's relationship with their selves can do when it comes to you and the relationship with yourself, and how you can, if you're not careful, fall into a pattern or a way of thought or a way of thinking through circumstances, environments that take you completely away from where you need to be. You know, and sometimes Allah has me just like disappearing, so He can increase my spiritual power, my spiritual understanding, my spiritual gift, so that when I come back, I'm not dumber than I was last time. I'm more conscious than I was last time. I'm explaining it with more ease than last time. I'm not as emotional as last time. And so sometimes we look at our falls as though it's something to kick the curb at. Yeah, okay, you could break your toe on the curb. That's cool. But you didn't need to. Because you could have just saw it as that Allah just wanted you to sit down. Maybe Allah just wanted to see. Maybe Allah is the best knower. And maybe Allah is the best scientist. Meaning He knows the art of experimentation. And He knows, He knows it all. He doesn't just know it all. He is it all. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So I don't even know how long this has been. This has been quite long already, hasn't it? You know what I get like, beloved? If you don't know, now you know. So I just kind of want to remind us that to not, for any much longer, especially at the rate that we're, doing it, prolonging our spiritual development. See, it said self-improvement is the basis for community development, right? You ready for this? So if the community is what we're in, and we are in it, listen, we are in the community. But if self-improvement is not going on, then we've lost the basis for developing our community. Now, you might be able to show me on the media that you're improving yourself. You might be able to tell me that you're self-improving. But you've got to understand that you have to then be able to produce something for your community as a result of that self-improvement. And not only pardon me, not only is it something that you have to say, well, this is my success, my individual success. It's not just that. In fact, it's more a universal success. It has to meet the requirements, it has to meet the needs, it has to meet the standard, it has to meet the predicament, the paradigm, the condition, the problem. And the minister, what the minister said in the Swan song? He said there was wait, what did he say? He said something like, I was a bad student sometimes. Like, what did he say now? But the root of where he was a bad student is not the same as a lot of us. And this is what really grinds my gears, because people think they have a valid axe to grind. But you couldn't have put that axe at any... You couldn't have aimed that axe at a worse person, to be honest, brother. If you're aiming it at him. Because listen, I don't need but a look. I don't need but a word. I don't need but a thought. I don't need but an ask. And Allah will tell me what is going on. And from that, I will work in what I feel is from my self-improvement, from my development. What I think is best to do from that point. And a lot of the times, it's to be quiet. A lot of the times, it's, come on, be patient. It's like a father and his son. You see your father, right? When you was younger and you was trying to build something, there was a moment where you'd look around, you'd think to yourself, Dad, why are you not helping? Come and help with this. But then, as you get older, you see, I know what my father was doing. He was trying to see if I could figure it out on my own. Praise be to Allah. I like that one. Yeah, we like that one. Because sometimes, look, you don't know how Allah is experimenting. You don't know how Allah is raising up people. See, he says, I'm going to guide you in mysterious ways. I'm going to take you on strange paths or something like that. I'll guide you among strange paths. Let me see if I can find that verse. I don't want to tell anything that's false, you know what I'm saying? This is one thing I have actually had to pick my phone up for, so I definitely want to be accurate. Okay, let's see if that comes up. No, not stage paths. I mean, I'll take it though. Oh, come on, get off. God, I don't like this phone. Strained paths. Alright. Yeah, it says, look. It says, wait a sec. Come on, where's the verse, beloved? I will lead the blind by a way they did not know. I think that's that. Wait. It could be that. Oh, wait, that's it. Along unfamiliar paths. There we go. So, hold on. Let me click on this link. I will lead the blind by ways they have not known. Along unfamiliar paths I will guide them. I will turn the darkness into light before them and make the rough places smooth. These are the things I will do. I will not forsake them. Oh my God. Oh. It's so good to have Allah. So good, I want you to have it. You know what I'm saying? What do I look like? Like a king at a table with no one at it, and I'm just eating the food. I look like an idiot, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why the minister done nothing but try and give you what he's got, so that he's not the only one feeling extremely grateful at the table. He can, have the beautiful thought of knowing that you might have the same thought if you just think the same way. If you just take on the same, you ready? Characteristics, same mind, same approach, same path, same footsteps as the man, whom is the greatest example among us. Not just for this world, but for worlds to come. Because, and here's something to think about. The minister Farrakhan is probably the last one that will be brought from the furnace, or that specific furnace, should we say, of affliction. I don't think there'll never be a man that is natural, no. That is, that's not the word I'm after. From the get-go, so there's not a man, don't think there'll ever be a man that is at the beginning of his journey in the worst condition he could possibly be in, and then at the end of his journey, he is in the most, oh my God, glorious condition that he could ever be in. Now, I don't know how that's going to be a lesson for later worlds, but I can already feel that it is. But then, God is about reinventing blueprints. God is about reinitiating mechanisms in man. Lives lived, and the stories are in those lives lived in men, by men. God likes to sorry about that. Resurrect. Reintroduce, that's what I'm trying to say. Resurrect that life. See how Michael Jackson just got resurrected? Nobody hear that. Nobody see that. I think, I mean, don't know about you, but he seems more alive than he has been for the past 17 years, brother. In this year that we live in now, 2026, Michael Jackson I don't think has ever been more alive. So, I probably need to take a break. I should probably go and eat something. I thought I would just give you some messages today, beloved. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? I don't even know. I just saying it. That's what that's what Elijah Muhammad said. He said, you don't need to write all that down, brother, and you don't need to go bending over backwards. He said you just stand up, get a couple of scriptures in your mind, get a thought in your mind, and just speak and let Allah speak through you. And that's kind of what I've always done. But sometimes I've not known I'm doing it, and so I've learnt from it that I've been doing it in a way. Just kind of like, I don't know, like, when you want for your brother what you have for yourself, there's many opportunities where you get to see what you're made of. When you want for your brother what have for yourself, you get a certain view of yourself frequently. If you frequently are on that frequency. And so, but then again, you have to really, you have to struggle to hold yourself down, brother. So, what kind of leader is a leader and is not conscious of mortality? To prepare one to carry on the great work of the great teacher. See, a lot of us want Allah to prepare us, but a lot of us don't want to prepare ourselves so that Allah can prepare us. See, Allah changes not the condition of a people unless they change that which is within themselves. Just because He chose you doesn't mean that at times he will not oppose you. See, you think you're gonna come up all the way from that depth of hell and not have anything to, you know, keep up with, eradicate, implement? Like, there's a lot of stuff that 66 trillion years of absence from the Lord's presence does. And and the thought of that should get us to, you know, slow down a bit in terms of, like, you know, don't be so quick out there, beloved. That's what it is. Don't be so quick in everything. Don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to say, you know, Elijah Muhammad said, think 5 times. I think he said actually 7 times, I think. I don't know. Oh no, he said 7 times to say the prayer 7 times a day. Yeah. That's where I get mixed up. It could be 7, I don't know. It's all them 7s, mate. That's how we do it. So number of completion, brother. Number 7. Complete. I did it. As like God saying, I did it. You know, so we want to be in a safe space when it's complete, okay? You know, and only we know truly and honestly with ourselves how far off or how far along we've come. I'm sure we know both of them simultaneously, hopefully. Specifically how far we've got to go. You know, as soon as we start getting a piece of what we are or what we've become, oh no, get ready to die. Well, you know, the ego can't rule the day, beloved. Has to be the soul today, beloved. That's why some brothers, you notice that some brothers just, they itch around you and stuff. They just, ugh. Like, you're too free, bro. Like, you could say what's on your mind, bro. Like, whoa. God, I gotta get myself either away from you or closer to you. It's one or the other. It's never in between. And if it is in between, it's a bit strange, you know? Because, but yeah, so listen, beloved. Oh yeah, we'll do the pen. Chapter 68. The Kalam. The Kalam. I just had this I just kind of got assigned to read this chapter, and then before obviously I'm about to read this. I listened to, like, it was dead funny, to be fair. I was listening to an audio of me a couple of weeks ago, when I was really finding it very difficult, and in that message I mentioned that. Well, I mentioned something, and it's about the Kalam. The Kalam? The Kalam, which is the name of this chapter. So it's how Allah makes things to work. I mean, He is a master. Because how He can make something. I mean, listen. If I was to, maybe I should post that audio. And beloved, please forgive me, because there is a bit of swearing in it. I do get a little bit mad, and if you can pardon that, there is quite a lot there, to be honest. If there's a lot, there's a lot that we can learn from. There's a lot of our spiritual diseases and our outlooks from that disease, or outlooks from that position of darkness, or that position of insecurity or comfortability, that is beneficial. I think that's what I was gonna say. Brain's moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Okay, so the pen, chapter 68, section 1. Not a madman's message. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, by the inkstand and the pen and that which they write. By the grace of thy Lord, thou art not mad, and surely thine is a reward never to be cut off, and surely thou hast sublime morals. So thou wilt see, and they too will see, which of you is mad. Surely thy Lord knows best who is erring from his way, and he knows best those who go aright. So obey not the rejectors, they wish that thou shouldst be pliant, so they too would be pliant. And obey not any mean swearer. Pardon me. So that means not obey me, innit? No, I'm joking. But you know what I mean, like I was, you know, a mean swearer, there's a difference. I wasn't being mean. I was being, well, I was just hyper emotional. Really being, not being myself. Okay, so, and obey not any mean swearer, defamer, going about with slander, hinderer of good, outstepping the limits, sinful, ignoble, besides all that, notoriously mischievous. Because he possesses wealth and sons. When our messages are recited to him, he says stories of those of yore. Something shone out to me then, to be honest. It didn't make any sense, but it says, by the inkstand and the pen and that which they write. Wait. To be okay. Just learning, guys. Can't tell you till I learn it. I can't tell you until he gives it. No. And even more than that, I can't even give it until not only he gives it, until he authorizes that I give it. Because, you know, that's what I love about the minister, yo. In his life is the blueprint to stay humble. In his life is the blueprint to remain as a good student. Like, if you follow his example and you're reminded by what perhaps he would have done or what he did when you're at that same spot in your journey, and you got to understand, beloved, that the minister is an amazing blueprint for anybody who wants to serve God. See how I didn't mention any faith there? See how I didn't mention any faith there? I didn't say, you know, he wants to make us all, you know. He wants to make us what we were born to be, brother. He wants to bring us back to the original state. So, you know. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Alright, so when our messages are recited to him, he says, stories of those of yore. We shall brand him on the snout. We shall try them as we tried the owners of the garden. When they swore to pluck its fruits in the morning and would not set aside a portion for the poor. But a visitation from thy Lord came on it while they slept, so it became as black, barren land. Then they called out to one another in the morning, saying, go early to your tilth, if you would pluck the fruit. So they went, while they said to one another in low tones, no poor man shall enter it today upon you. And in the morning they went, having the power to prevent, but when they saw it, they said, surely we are in error. Nay, we are made to suffer privation. The best of them said, said I not to you, why do you not glorify Allah? They said, glory be to our Lord, surely we were unjust. Then some of them advanced against others, blaming each other. Said they, oh woe to us, surely we were inordinate. Maybe, our Lord will give us instead one better than it. Surely to our Lord we make petition. Such is the chastisement. Such is the chastisement, full stop. See? So it's like all that was leading to that moment, such as the chastisement. And then obviously it pulls up and it says, and certainly the chastisement of the hereafter is greater. Did they? But no. See, greater mean there's a great at play. It means there's a great at hand. It means there's something going on that's great. So Allah's helping me to see it so that you can't lie anymore. Not only to me, but to yourself and to the Lord. I'm going to try and figure this out, okay? I was not joking when I said 8 years ago that I wanted to help this man. And I've lost everything to stay with that man. So, pardon me if I get a bit passionate sometimes, brother, or I do end up really finding it difficult. Or getting frustrated. It's not that I'm frustrated because I don't love what I'm frustrated about. No. This is, you know what I'm saying? God is love. God is God is love. Like, he's not putting on love. How can you put on love? How can you put on... You can't put on wisdom like a coat. You can't put on love like a coat. You can't put on God like a coat. It may fit you. wait a sec. No. You take that. That's for you, that one. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. So, I mean, in this chapter, oh gosh, yeah, that's a big chapter, that, you know. Yeah. We will see who is mad. Put it that way. We will see. We will see. Is it going to be the Nation of Islam, or is it everybody else? You know. So anyway, beloved, I think we will call that a day, because, you know, I did say to Allah, I said we'll do a big message. We'll, you know, we'll make sure we say some stuff. You know. We make sure we empty ourselves. See? Sorry, I'm just closing my window. Not closing my door though. Just don't want you climbing through the window, you know what I'm saying? I have to tackle you right out of it. Show you the front door. Never the back door. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that. He said, don't ever enter somebody's house from the back. And he also said, don't, what did he say? Don't enter a person's house from the front without permission. So, yeah, I don't know where that came from. I don't know. You know what? It's been a pleasure speaking today from a faithful heart. It's been a pleasure speaking from a loving heart for what I'm seeing, but also a concerned heart for what I'm seeing. Let us not forget that. This is more of a weighty message to get it together, more than it was the message of well done, I'm very proud, I love what I'm seeing. And, you know, listen, just listen. If you don't mind hearing God come through man, then you won't mind me saying some of the things that I'm saying. See? See what I mean? Watch, you ready? If you're worshipping Allah, then no man will ever bother you. Should ever bother you. Really, can ever bother you as long as you keep yourself cool, bro. Sister. So, you know, maybe there is a lesson in this, brother. And maybe there's maybe we should start the next episode with this chapter. Because, you know, I do think that there is so much more in this chapter than than I realized for this specific message that I gave you today, which is making me think there might have to be a part 2 of it in a way. Like, it's really not part 2. We're on episode 30 odd right now. So, you know, it's not like I've not spoke to you. It's not like I've not said anything. It's not like I've not been, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna sleep on me, and I ain't definitely not gonna sleep on you, mate. Because I'm not tired. I'm just getting started. Like the minister was when he was only a baby. As a baby, he was shaking the house. So you can bet that as a baby, I don't like to shake the house, but if I need to shake the house, I guess I will. And I guess I will find the best way to shake the house. That includes guidance, brother. I don't just want a reason to beat up on you like these other white folks do. The ones who you're familiar with, especially. Remember, I'm in the UK. You don't know where I'm from. This is not... You don't know this place. This place is different to the US, brothers and sisters. For those who are obviously listening from America, if indeed there are any. I hope there are. I hope you're all listening. I hope you see what I'm doing. And I hope Allah has you to see it as well. Because I don't want you to fail the test. I also don't want you to not get one and fail it because you didn't even know there was one. I don't know. Allah got me just... He got me on fire right now. So I'm going to probably tame the fire by reading this chapter. I'm probably going to read it with quite a lot of attention because I know there's a message in here. Because I've been given the message. Well, I've not been given the message, I've been given the sign. See how we got Jesus, the prophet, but then there was still more work to do? So Jesus the prophet was a sign. Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, Master Fraud Muhammad, Nation of Islam, faith times 10. That's what we're looking at. That's the reality of what he was a sign of back then. Jesus of 2,000 years ago. Jesus of 2,000 years ago is basically saying this. Listen, I thought it was me, guys, but I don't mind giving myself up as a sign, as a sacrifice for all those people that I know, you ready? 2,000 years later, that will look at what I did and say, wow, we got to make a sacrifice. Come on, brother. Sister. How deep is your love? You ready for this? How great is your sacrifice? Oh, how deep is your sacrifice? See, you might have sacrificed something you don't even know you sacrificed. So it's too deep for you to understand what you even sacrificed just then. You don't even know what you said no to. But Allah saw you say no to it. See what I'm saying? You can be in the highest building in the world. He'll send a raven with a scroll in its foot. I'm telling you, he'll get to you. He will find you where you are. That's what it is. The minister finds you where you are. You can't have a conversation without the minister without him locating where you are. And it's nothing to do with him, believe it or not. Allah has him in a certain vigilant place, observational place for his own protection. He has him in a spiritual place for his own protection. He has him in a spirit, not a prison. It's not a prison. It may feel like a prison. Hint, hint. Might feel like a prison. But it's only purification. It's only purification. So we got some mad people, seems it. We've got some mad folks. Mad. I wonder what the root word of mad is. Let's have a look. Should we do it? Mad. I hate this bloody phone. Right, okay. Let's have a look. The English word mad derives from the Old English word jamaldi, meaning out of one's mind or insane. See, oh, I got something on that. Oh, I got something then. See, listen to this, brother. Allah wants you to be in your right mind. But the definition of mad is that you are out of one's mind. How can one out of one's mind represent the mind of God? How can one out of one's mind reflect the wisdom mind of Almighty God Allah? I hope you're hearing me. But there's loads to this. Oh my God, I just gave myself another study. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. You know what? We didn't do any music out today, but you know what? You're not getting any. You ain't getting any more. I think I'll just leave that for now. And we'll do another. Again, I'm going to start doing broadcasting. You know, I never stop working, beloved. I never stop. I tell you, brother, sister, I don't think of, I don't do nothing else but this. To be honest. This is where I am, man. Nothing in life gives me the buzz that this does. And you know, like, nothing deflates that buzz as much as somebody who don't get buzzing about it. Or it can feel certain ways, like, oh, as if you don't want to know what the truth is. As if you don't want to know more than what you think you already know. You know. Like, sometimes you're just like, oh my God, since when did you become the all-knowing? That my, you know, knowledge or my awareness and knowing, it becomes invaluable or insignificant because you've ascended beyond my help for you. Is that right? You've ascended beyond the guidance Allah has given me to give to you. Really, guidance that I've had to earn, brother. I've had to sacrifice great things to acquire, to attain. I'm not entirely sure about how that relates to the great attainment in the Holy Quran, but to me, I think the greatest attainment is to attain the mind of God, to attain the perspective, to see with His eyes. So have your eyes no longer yours, but for them to be His eyes. That's where we should be going. To have His ears as your ears, so that when you hearing somebody, you hearing what God would hear. See, somebody might say, "I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you." But if Satan's listening, Satan will say, "I hate you too." But you see what God says? Look at this. You ready for this? If God's listening, the person goes, "I hate you." And God goes, "I know, I understand, but I love you. And I want you to know and understand as I know and understand why you don't like me. Or why you hate me or whatever. Have this thing towards me." I'm sure God has had many servants, many people who have at once in their time, whether young or whatever, that they've felt some type of way, about God. You see what I mean? So I don't know. That's the beauty of it, right? Is I never know where these went in you. I just know where they went in me. And where they went in me is enough for me to know this is okay, this is fine. But that's it. This is the part. Is I sometimes think, oh, I wonder where you went with it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know? So yeah, we're gonna continue tomorrow, inshallah, with this chapter, the pen. And you know what? Maybe I shouldn't. I kind of wanted to read this like after this, but I guess I won't. I think I'll save it. I'll be patient till tomorrow, because I like to get things on the bounce as I'm learning them. Because When spirit's on you, you need to speak. I can't explain it any other way. You need to get into it. Get into the groove of the word, or get into the motion of it, and then, like you do with a song, you know, you replay the song, you replay the motion, you replay it because it does something to you. Maybe at a certain point, oh, I like that bit. You know, you'll even rewind it just to get that bit. See what I'm saying? So anyway, before I talk again and end up spending another half an hour talking your ears off, I'm going to go. I'm going to go and chill. No, I'm not. I mean, am I really? Yeah, you know what? I am. I'm going to chill. Yeah, I'm going to chill. Yeah, I'm going to have a chill. I'm going to be writing, though. But that is my chill. You know what Farrakhan said? He said some people are afraid to think the way I speak. I was like, yeah, man. I love you, bro. I was like, yeah, man. We love that over here. Say something else. Come on, bruv. Oh, my God. So, well, it's been a pleasure to address you in good spirits today. I'm very, very grateful to Allah. Very grateful to Allah for guiding me with words to say, for giving me so much, yo, like, so much that I don't even know what to do with it. You know, have you ever been given too much air? What happens? Hold on. Like, you ever stuck your car out the window? You know, when you was younger, obviously. I mean, you can do it Ace Ventura if you want, mate. But listen, it's usually when we're young when we do these crazy things. But I had my head out the window when I was younger and that. And I couldn't breathe. So I had to bring my head back in. But that's what it's like when Allah's giving you truth and giving you wisdom and giving you grace, giving you blessings, giving you favour. And really, you know, expressing it, exposing his favour for you. That's it. You know, it's really something. But, you ready for this? You have to struggle to hold yourself down. Holding yourself down doesn't mean making yourself pliant because others find their pliancy acceptable. No. It's about you being bold, you being brave, you being courageous, and you being patient. And you being. Just being. Bzzz. Bzzz. It's me again. It's me again. Oh, man. Alright. No. Assalamu alaikum. And, make a list of all the things you're thankful for. Make a list of all the things that you can think of that you should be thankful for that maybe you haven't been being thankful for. And you know, look after your children, beloved. Don't think that your children or your being chosen are, in a way, a ticket. We got to be most knowing of the Quran as most knowing of it as we can to know when or if we are going under a trial or for a trial. So, you know, let us inform our kids, but let us not be ruled. See? Let us not be ruled by an ignorant spirit. Don't let us not be ruled by an immature, young. No, it's not. That's not the message, is it? No, it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's not that I'm trying to cut the youth off. No, that's the opposite. It's that we have to know. We have to be careful about our children and the power that God has given them. See, you didn't hear me. Oh my God, I should probably talk for another 4 hours, to be honest. Do you know? But God's given us something. You know, God's given us something. God's given us something. Like a stuck record. God's given us something. Oh, but in repeating it, I can see more in it as I say it. You know when he said, "Oh, do you know sometimes." Yeah, just shut your mouth, Jack. Right, I'm going now. Peace, peace, peace. I love you all in the nation, specifically, but I love you all, and thank you for tuning in. If you've tuned in, make sure you listen back if you need to. Make sure thank who you need to thank today. The master. But you know what I mean. Don't let nobody do some good and not get away without you saying thank you. Don't let anybody do a good deed and you let them go away and nobody thank them for that deed, and yet you have the opportunity to thank them for it, and you don't not do that. Don't get to the door and turn the other way. See what I'm saying? So we have to understand Allah is the best knower. And so on that note, praises be to Allah. And I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Peace.